guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Aemond from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you for House of Dragon, Season 2, Episode 5.
Regent, I think this one is called. We couldn't watch the second part of this season live with you guys, but we're finally back. We're gonna binge watch the last 4 episodes, and we won't be waiting 1 week intentionally between episodes. So I'll edit them as fast as I can. Yeah. We really stayed away from spoilers. We don't know. The one thing we do know is that we were wrong last episode about Aegon's fate. He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Yes. We thought for sure he was dead. There was a bit of doubt, but we went with dead. But yeah, no, we didn't see the trailer for this episode, but people were saying online that he was still alive, and we will see how the Greens react, because even though he's not dead, I'm pretty sure he's hurt. He's not okay. So if anything, he'll have to recover. We'll see how the Greens react to this, how they will take the news of how it happened. Like, what story will they say? Because his brother...
We almost killed one of our own. Yay!
Yeah, but like, Aemond Dracarys his ass, right? Like, he intentionally attacked him, and the whole plan was his and stuff. I don't know how much they'll be able to do against Aemond, considering if Aegon is away, he's gonna be the one in charge. Cole seems to realize last episode that he made a mistake going with Aemond's plan.
Once again. I mean, Aemond's plan wasn't really that bad with what they tend to do, but the fact that they did not tell Aegon about it was their mistake.
Well, apparently that's a difference from the book.
Yeah.
That, like, they were supposed to be in the book. Apparently they wait together, like they attack together, and Aegon still suffers like wounds and stuff. Like, but Aemond doesn't attack him straight up. But it's fine. I think it makes sense in the context of this show that he would do this, considering their past and how he's been mental wise in this season so far. But yeah, Kristen Cole truly regrets his choice. And we on the black side, we lost Rhaenys and her dragon. This is going to be a huge blow, because not only is it a loss for them, but she was a voice of reason. She was helping Rhaenyra a lot, and it's Corlys's wife, so he's going to have to suffer through his grief. Daemon is still having visions in Harrenhal. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of other stuff, but the main stuff is this. So I said we jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us, right? So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
All right, let's go. He lost everything.
Yep.
His wife, his son, his daughter.
And more than the grief, I'd be feeling vulnerable.
People are scrapping for food, man.
It's about to get worse.
The traitor dragon Rhaenys!
No.
That's just the head, right?
Well, they can't drag the whole thing.
What the fuck?
My word, this is a black omen.
I know why they're doing this. Like, they're trying to show how strong they are.
We won the war with that one, but this, I mean, this is your...
It's supposed to be a symbol, right?
You're supposed to worship them.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, you just did that, and she'll fight back.
Strange victory.
It's like if people killed Direwolf in the north and show them to the Starks. Same thing.
And like, it'll be followed by, is that Aegon?
Or what's left of him.
Like, you're showing the head of the dragon so they don't focus much on Aegon.
The traitor dragon Rhaenys! I thought the dragons was gods.
Yeah.
Like, and indirectly, it's destroying their faith in you.
People are fearing Targaryen because they're riding dragons.
Tell me what happened. He started it.
Yep, your son is not your little boy anymore. Since a long time ago.
Yeah. The fact that he's carrying his dagger too. No fucking shame.
Is he alive?
For the moment.
Is it a good thing or bad thing? His armor.
The armor melt on his skin. Oh, fudge.
Good thing he's unconscious, cause fuck. Surviving a Dracarys to the face. And the fall.
I mean, that on his own is...
Get away. You don't deserve to be here.
Fudge.
Someone will have to rule in his stead.
Who? You?
And she knows.
We still have no ground army but the one we hope that Daemon will raise. He who has left us after some marital spat.
Hey. It's not just
take
that.
issue with me, Sir Alfred,
My loyalty to you is proven, my queen.
but your willingness to give me deference in a time of war.
I could never doubt your capability.
Instead of doing it
Quickest
right now...
mind. It is merely that the gentler sex, heretofore, has not been much privy to the strategies of battle.
Could you say that to Rhaenys? Huh?
There has been peace in our lifetime. You've seen no more battles than I have.
True. Like maybe in a time of war that would be different and that would mean something,
Yeah, but you know nothing about war, man.
Yeah.
Not much dinner.
If Aegon is dead, we will soon know it.
It will soon prop up another in his
The
stead.
time is ripe. If we can strike King's Landing before that dragon
Listen
is
to your
Then I
queen.
myself must do it.
My queen, you are the crown. It is out of the question.
What would you have me do?
To just rule as a figurehead?
But it-
or
no.
to rule?
No, but it's tough to say. When you got a king like Jon Snow, who's also a commander, who also goes
Yeah.
to battle,
He's
it's
also a
expected.
warrior, yeah.
It's expected for him to go fight. For her, she has a dragon. I see why she'd be saying it's expected of me to do something, but you saw what happened to Rhaenys. If she dies, it's over.
Where are you going?
To treat with the Daemon. He must affirm his loyalty to my mother and report his standing. My mother gladly sends you away to fight, whilst I'm here being forced to play the coddled princeling. It's humiliating.
She lost a child, man. She protects you.
I can sit still no longer. I must act.
But just don't flee in the night. The others would not see that, right?
The phrase. They control the crossing at the Twins. Cregan Stark's Greybeards are marching south. If his men had a direct route into the Riverlands, we would not have to wait for Daemon to act.
Careful with
I
the
will treat with the
phrase.
phrase to secure it.
I mean, Walder is not born yet.
Who knows?
Don't tell her. Not until I'm away.
I don't like the secrecy. Like, Daemon already fled, and now people are bringing that back and hitting her in the face with this. That sends a message that she can't control her own family.
Our terms are simple, Lord Bracken. Renounce the false King Aegon as a usurper. And bend the knee to me. Or your house burns.
How powerful must you feel on top of a dragon?
We choose fire.
Okay. Now. Yeah, now. Why wait?
I did not think they would be so eager to die.
I did not see that coming.
They would rather burn than succumb. Exactly the kind of men I need.
We have fought them for an age and more.
Then perhaps you could try less fighting and more
Manipulating?
persuading.
Better word.
Demons had other thing in mind.
Yeah.
There are things the crown itself must not be seen to do. Show them your worst.
I am your servant, your grace.
There's a reason he's good at what he does.
The things we do for the crown, right?
The way they spoke at my small council today. They speak around me, not to me.
Yeah.
In truth, I cannot fault them.
You are your father's chosen successor.
They did not prepare me to fight. Instead, I was given my father's cup. And Daemon as well.
Shall your evening meal be served here, your grace?
Not now.
Careful what you say. Don't talk out loud about your uneasiness, hesitation, and everything. Because if they hear, it's going to be worse.
If I must be supplicant to my own husband, what does that make me?
In a way, it's okay to accept other people's help, but they use her weakness and lack of knowledge in this field to push her down.
Yeah.
Parading a dragon's head through the street, the people see an ill omen.
Yes, as do I.
They are afraid. They whisper to each other that when Viserys lived, there was peace.
But will whispers tear down stone?
Do not underestimate your subjects.
And you think they will turn to me?
To the discontented, rumors are feed.
Especially in King's Landing, they're stuck behind walls. All they know is their reality.
What you cannot do, let others do for you.
That too.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
I mean, if you can turn the people on
Against
the
the,
ring,
yeah. they are already pretty pissed. Like, they were promised stuff and now they have nothing. The king is... Like, the rumors will spread, right? Like, they didn't see him come back. They won't hear from him. They'll expect him to be dead. And since the Greens want to hide his wounds, probably, they won't say anything. Another vision.
Daemon, you were always the strong one. The finest swordsman.
Who's that? I don't know.
Your brother had great love in his heart, but he lacked your constitution. Viserys was unsuited for the crown.
It's a less disturbing illusion right now. At least not Rhaenyra suing his child.
If only you'd been born first, my favorite son.
Targaryens?
Is the duck not to your liking, Your Grace?
Go away. Oh, shit.
No!
If you prefer.
No!
His Grace suffered grievous burns over much of his body. I fear there are more injuries within.
This would already be really bad today. With the medicine of back then, imagine.
Our king's fate lies with the gods now.
A king cannot rule in his sleep.
Nope.
We must name a regent to take his place until he recovers.
They all know who they want to name.
Did you have a candidate in mind with this?
I suggest myself sit down.
I am well prepared to do it again.
You played your part admirably in a time of peace, Your Grace.
They don't want a woman in charge during a time of war.
The obvious choice is his immediate successor, Prince Aemond.
Lord Larys.
Will he betray her right there?
I agree, Your Grace. It must be Prince Aemond.
Your son has better fit than you do.
Aemond is the next in line.
At least two in this council were supposedly totally on her side. I feel bad for her in a way. She's dealt with these guys so much. She's ruled with these guys before. They're not hearing her. They don't want a woman in charge.
They don't care about it.
And they all probably understand to some degree that Aemon's responsible for what happened. They don't care. And things just keep on going like nothing happened.
After so many years, after everything that she's done for the Ram, while Viserys was sick,
I feel like she could...
and that's what she gets for it.
I feel like she could walk away and they wouldn't notice.
They wouldn't care if she walks away.
That's literally what she said to Aegon last episode. What he was saying to her. They're talking around me. They don't care about me.
Has your loyalty faded, or does it flourish only at night and flee the sunrise like a moth?
Instead of a hen of the king, he has a chain of hens? This is so weird.
We have given the war to the dragons. The dragon rider should lead us.
Whose fault is it that it turned to this?
So you cast me aside.
Have I not spared you? What we must do now is terrible. Will you preside over it?
Look at him patronizing her about what's gonna do next.
It's his fault. Like, he worked with Aemond to bring a war of dragons. He pushed for this. And then he saw what it became. He was afraid. And I think he believes it's out of his hands and he can't do shit about that anymore. So he wants to leave it to Aemond. That's fucking bullshit. I did say they were gonna be stuck behind walls.
By order of Aemond Targaryen, Prince Regent.
Aemond. Does he mean the king?
I don't know.
You cannot keep us here! To return to your home!
State of things is horrible and you probably expected them to flee, but if they abandon the city, it's over. So, it's bullshit.
Our hesitance does not lie in Rhaenyra as queen. Our fear lies in Vhagar.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you offer us your protection?
I do.
Be prepared to follow through with that.
And the protection of my uncle.
You can't speak for other people, man.
Larys Strong has been relieved of his castle.
You want Harrenhal?
Yeah, but that's not yours to give, so be careful what you say next.
Daemon won't like it.
No. That's one of big reason why I'm not happy with him leaving on his own.
Doing things his way.
My mother will want more than your crossing.
What does her grace desire?
Bent knees.
Oh, this starts so young.
No, but like, without everything else, this is good. He got the twins.
This is really good.
But Daemon claimed Harrenhal, and right now he doesn't want to give it away. And giving promises to people without consulting with the others, also giving promises, that could lead to you promising the same thing to two lords.
That's kind of why Robb Stark died, right?
And like it's the phrase again.
Empty promises.
Like we just said that in King's Landing they've been promising stuff to the small folk and they couldn't, follow through.
They couldn't provide,
The realm will suffer if Aemond One Eye rules.
I'd heard the same thing about you. But I'll cross you no further. I'm sure your tactics are, after all, approved by the Queen.
She cannot succeed, Alice. The people who support her will not be led by her. They look to a man for strength. When I take King's Landing, Rhaenyra is welcome to join me there and take her place by my side.
It's a pity, don't you think, that you never knew your mother?
So he was either young when she died or she died giving birth?
Maybe. But still, that vision was disturbing.
And she's aware of all his visions, so shame.
The Blackwoods have overwhelmed the Brackens, and Lord Amos has pledged his banner to you. House Bracken is yours.
There's the matter of how you'll be remembered too. Like on the short term, this helps. On the long term, this could lead to so many problems.
Resentment, grudges.
Revenge.
Queen Rhaenyra wishes to name you Hand.
Even the death of my wife does not content her.
Hey, it's an honor.
Or does she think the position will compensate me for my loss?
Pledge your peace to King's Landing, then.
It's easy to be pissed at Rhaenyra when you're losing, but it's a test of faith and loyalty.
Rhaenys was not only your wife, not a thing to be taken from you. She was a Targaryen princess, and she flew to Rook's Rest of her own will.
Yeah.
In defense of her kin.
And she died.
And you need to defend what she believed in.
With honor. In Dragonfire. The way my mother chose. And the way I myself wish to meet my end. I grieve my grandmother who loved me, but I carry her on with me. I will see Rhaenyra ascend the Iron Throne, as Rhaenys wished.
Exactly. You honor that wish.
Well said.
Thank you.
You yourself may do as you see fit.
He is hurt, he is sad, and he feels like he's lost everything, but he's still got people around. For them, he needs to keep fighting.
I would make you my
Thank you! Wow! Interesting.
I am blood and fire. Driftmark must pass to salt and sea.
Interesting too. But the fact that he made the move, something that Rhaenys has been pushing him to do for so long. Honor her wish.
Yeah.
Great. She said no, and to be fair, she's supposed to marry Jace and
be on the throne, yeah.
But still, for sure though, then that's gonna go to his bastards. Salt and sea.
The River Lords have come, Your Grace.
What godless hour is it?
The wolf. They are demanding to speak presently.
Must be important. Maybe they heard what he did and they're not happy.
Is there some reason you feel free to wake a king in his bed?
There have been complications.
The sacred septs on Bracken lands were looted and burned.
As were the fields and farm, and our peasants put to the sword.
They pursued the women and the children.
These beasts proudly carried the banner of House Targaryen. Red dragon on black.
That's Rhaenyra's reputation to your tarnishing.
Yeah. Have you thought about that?
We should have expected nothing more from a man who ordered the slaughter of a child in his mother's arms.
The Riverlands are an ancient place.
I wish it's an hallucination.
Dragon or no.
This is bad.
We shall not raise our banners for a tyrant.
Daemon, you made it worse.
You fucked up.
You fucked up so bad.
There's still time for it to be an hallucination.
I don't think
We
it
just
is.
said we need the Riverlands. See, I think he's proving to everyone and himself why he wasn't the best choice for king.
Was it worth the price?
No answer. Ha. Despite everything, it's her son still. She made a lot of mistakes with him.
With all of them.
And it literally is like history repeating itself. Like once again, the king is abed, can't do anything.
Oh, fudge, no!
He called her?
Yeah. She did not hear what he said.
Well, I don't even know if he's truly conscious.
He said, "Mommy." He called for his mom.
Prince Jaceres, Your Grace.
Got you the twins. You lost the Riverlands. You don't know that yet, but at least you got the twins. And I promised them Harrenhal, which you've just lost. Well, technically, no, we have Harrenhal, but...
You chafed at being prevented from action. Imagine, my lord, with a war being fought over my ascension. Even you have managed to do your part.
You are the queen. No harm can come
And
to
you
you.
are my son, and I did not give you leave to go.
I just think what she would
Do
be
not give me
pissed.
leave to go to anything.
Your dragon is young. Will you fly before Vhagar as Luke did?
That's why she doesn't want him away.
Perhaps Daemon could...
Do not talk to me about
Oh,
Daemon.
we don't go there.
Is Aegon dead?
Dead or alive, we have no answer for Vhagar.
And he's a good
Are there other
fighter.
dragons that are big?
Well, there are other dragons.
Any dragons?
We have no dearth of dragons.
It's the riders you need.
They are called Vermithor and Silverwing.
Yes, and if only they had riders, none could stand against me.
Corlys's bastard. Or like the guy in King's Landing who claims to be... Well, he
There are
vouches
those of
for
our
them.
line who never ruled. Their children, born with other names.
Are you suggesting we put a Malister on a dragon? A Tarly?
It's better than death and defeat.
Imagine Sam on a dragon. Way down the line.
Yeah.
Anyone could be a dragon rider.
There are records here, surely, of our line, and of those who fell out of it.
We'll find long lost cousins and we'll do it. We need strength. Vhagar's too big. Hey.
It's a mad sword.
It's
a
a thought.
huge mad thought, though.
You need something mad. Because you have nothing else. Start searching. Yeah, we'll find the bastards and the leftovers and everyone.
But you know what I'm afraid of, though, with that idea?
What?
Is the fact that if we do find bastards, or not bastards,
Not necessarily
not
bastards,
bastards, but people who are descended from old Targaryen's family line with blood thin, what would you do if you've never been brought up with dragon knowledge, with the respect with dragons, and one day you got a big dragon, you got all of that power?
That's not... You not just wake up one day with a dragon. You'll have to meet with them. They'll tell you how it's done. You need to go down there. That's if you survive the meeting, because like the dragon won't necessarily accept you. And that's like... They're talking big, like they're talking, we'll look for people and stuff, but we know a few already. They've been introducing them ever since the beginning of the season. Corlys is looking for successors. He asked his granddaughter finally, which to me is a bit too late, but it's still a nice gesture towards his wife, you know, following her wishes and stuff. I understand why she refused, considering she has nothing to do with the sea and everything. She knows nothing of ships. And that was also an argument that he gave, right?
Yeah.
But he's got bastards that have been hanging around. He owes them a little bit. Like one of them saved his life. Are the two of them his bastards? I assumed so.
I'm not sure.
Maybe the two
I'm
of
not
them.
sure.
In any case,
at least one of them.
He's got at least one, and I mean, we saw one of the two looking like longingly at a dragon flying.
Sea Smoke?
Yeah, the one that
Smoke?
has no rider anymore, and that's assuming that what's his name again? Fuck, Rhaenyra's first husband.
Lenore,
thank you. My mind just blanked. I think Lenore might be dead, considering his dragon has been crying, right? And he could have been crying because he's been away and he can't reach him somehow. I don't know. But it's kind of recent that he's been crying, so maybe he felt it. Something happened to him. And normally you can't have two riders in, at the same time.
Yeah, no.
So
you're not supposed to.
For another dragon rider to get on top of him, that would mean Lenore would be dead.
So you think that he's truly dead?
I'm thinking he might be dead, and I'm thinking Corlys's potential bastard who looked at it could be a potential dragon rider, and he fights already on our side, so that's a good thing. And then I don't know about him because we still don't really know if it's true, but the guy who claims to be part of the family back in King's Landing, he said he was a stepbrother or something to Daemon and Viserys.
I think, yeah.
Or in any case, he's or a cousin, or I don't know, but he's close, and his blood would be perfect for this. So if what he's saying is true, he's also a potential dragon rider, and he already supports Rhaenyra's family, so, and her side. So that's two potential dragon riders on our side, and we have 2 dragons, and that's not counting those that we don't really know. Those that I think Daemon went to get them last season, right? He went to look for them. So,
I mean, we have a bunch of bastards in the pit from Aegon's side.
yes, but there's no way
they're too young, and it's anyway.
and anyway, anyone else, like I don't know, even the guy we saw, I forgot his name, but the guy we saw who's claiming to be a Targaryen, or at least he's got the blood of the Targaryens, he is in King's Landing, and currently King's Landing is locked up.
Yeah.
But that's
Assuming
assuming
locked down right now.
He's also been talking about this openly at his bar, and we got a nice little spy sending people around in King's Landing gathering intel. She was saying to Rhaenyra, let us do what you can't do, what we're good at and you're not good at. She's good at gathering intel. She sent people down in King's Landing to spread rumors, but who's to say that she won't hear other stuff, information about people claiming to be Targaryens, maybe. And if she has a way to get them out, that's another, potential ally. So, yeah, give it to the bastards. Give it to those that we disregard usually. Include
But I mean,
people.
right now they don't talk about bastards, but just people from families who are affiliated with us, like through marriage and birth.
But that's because they still disregard bastards. But it's still a good idea. Kind of like how, at the beginning of the episode when they saw Melissa's head, they were saying like, oh, dragons I thought they were gods, and one of them were saying, they're just meat, right? Dragons, when you look at them in the sky and stuff, you worship them, right? They are these big things that you can touch, you can get close, you can fell, you can destroy them, you can kill them. They carry with them this title, this nobility, and I think the same applies to dragon riders, right? Who but the most noble of the most noble could get on top of a dragon and control it? Like Rhaenyra was saying, only dragon lords can ride a dragon, but that's just what they used to say. At the end of the day, when you look at dragons, they're animals. When you look at dragon riders, they are human. People who have Targaryen blood, but it comes down to personality. It comes down to the challenge. Are they up for it?
At the end of it, the dragons must acknowledge the riders to be to bond with it.
I guess it comes down to what they just show the dragons, right? There's character strength, and it depends on the dragon. Maybe the connection is better with one than the other, but to disregard the bastards or those from lesser families because they're not directly linked to Targaryens, even though they share drops of blood, that's throwing away a chance. So look at it look at the bigger picture. Because you need it anyway. You've lost a big part of your army.
Yeah, we need to have Vermithor, Silverwing. I know that there's supposed to be one called Cannibal and Sheep Stealer, right?
I don't know. Never heard about Carnivore?
Cannibal? Cannibal.
Fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, he's eating other dragons, it seems.
Oh, yeah, wait, I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. Like I said, I know they talked about dragons with no dragon riders, kind of loose dragons that were roaming around, and Daemon went to look for them. So there's still that chance, right? We still have they did say they have dragons. And right now I have 2 potential candidates for dragon riders. So if we find others, that's that. But, yeah.
What did you think about the fact that they parade Melissa's head in King's Landing?
I think it was a way for them to hide Aegon. The best, the most, considering all the small folks' attention would be on the dragon and not on who's in the box. What's in the box? But, and it's also a way, like, considering war has been talked about, because it's not been raging yet, right? It was the first true fight, especially first true fight with dragons. And the tensions were high, and people have been whispering and stuff. It is a way to show victory. It's a way to erase the fact that Aegon was felled and they thought it might be a great smokescreen for the small folk. But what they said in the episode is true. What it did was take the dragons on their pedestal and knock them down.
It's just show to people that your biggest weapon
can be defeated,
can be killed.
And on top of that, it's a big loss, and it basically, they've been saying it, Rhaenyra will retaliate. You killed one of her dragons, and the dragons are huge, man. It's not like they view them as gods. It's more than people. You kill someone, you kill a commander, a knight, it's war. But you kill a dragon, she'll fight back. It's big, and they've been whispering, they are already afraid that she'll fight back, she'll retaliate, but on top of that, now they've lost a bit of respect for the dragons. Like, they've seen one with its head cut off, they're like, they're just meat. Now they look at the greens and they're like, yeah, you have dragons, you're the big deal, but you can't follow through with your promises, you can't give us meat, we're starving, we don't have money, you're not paying us. They're losing respect so fast.
Do you think that they're gonna kill Vhagar to have meat then?
No. There's no way they can get close enough, but all they have is rumors, right? They're stuck behind walls, and now they've closed the doors, because for sure if they allow all the small folk to leave, they're gonna lose their, I don't know, their name, their standing, they're gonna lose their strength. So they have to keep them here. They don't want word to spread that they're losing power inside the walls of their own castle and own kingdom, right? Or own territory. But still, all they have is rumors, and they're hearing stuff about Aegon. They're hearing that Aemond is in control now. So what does that mean? Is Aegon dead? The king being dead would be a big blow. So the morale would be down. They are uncertain about what's going on. That's right after the Ratcatchers were hung without word about why they've been hung. They're losing faith in the ones controlling them. They're not getting answers. And unfortunately, it's usually what happens in war, because the people in power are concentrated on what's going on outside the walls. They're feeding their soldiers, they're feeding their armies, their dragons, they're focusing all their resources towards war, and the small folk are suffering.
For the small folk, yeah.
Yes, but they have a lot of power. We saw that in Game of Thrones, and now considering we have potential dragon riders rising from the small folk, there's that too. But for sure, if the people inside King's Landing rebel against the Greens will have to focus on the small folk, and they don't have that energy to spare. So, and truly, it's one thing too, like, they've been spreading words and rumors and stuff about how Rhaenyra is the cruel, she kills kids, and oh, you don't want to support her and stuff. But if they lose faith in the Greens and they start looking at Rhaenyra as the liberator, then when she comes to King's Landing, she'll have support. And that's a big power. That's a big blow. So they need to be careful, and right now they're not being careful. Aegon was giving promises because he wanted to please, but he did not understand politics. He did not understand what was his to give and what he could afford to give. He was learning, but it's a bad time to learn when you're at war, right? Aemond is better when it comes to making decisions about war itself, but when it comes down to the small folk, I don't know.
I don't think that Aemond cares about the small folk.
I don't know. We haven't seen him truly. He took down the Ratcatchers, so he understands that stuff that Aegon did was really bad. He made strategic decisions that won them Rook's Rest.
Yeah.
He has done really good, except he's got a temper, he lashes out sometimes, and he reminds me too much of Daemon, who's not really a good choice for king. So that's why, like, right now, when we can control him, or when he's in control of himself, he's a good fighter, he's a good strategist, and he could win. Basically, in times of war, Aemond is a good choice. What about after? Because he went after his own king.
I don't think that after is going to be a good option.
To be fair, Aegon wasn't necessarily a good choice for king at the moment. So you could argue that he helped the kingdom by doing this, but truly was only thinking of himself. Because he went against his own side in a time of war. So what can he do in the future? I don't know. We'll have to see how he proves himself. We barely saw him. I love how his sister was like, was it worth it? And he couldn't answer.
Maybe yeah, maybe not. a huge part of me is saying yes, though.
Yeah. I feel very bad for Aegon, though. The mommy thing was really, really sad.
It's... Alicent is trying to be there for her children, but when they need her, she's just leaving.
Everything she did.
She's not there.
Yeah. Everything she did in season 1, and, you know, now we're in season 2, the war has started, but still, everything she did that led to this was supposedly to protect her family. And now one of them is half dead.
Is the fact that her father told her, oh my gosh, if Rhaenyra is on the throne, she's gonna go after your children because they could take her place and be a threat to her, so she's gonna kill them.
Yeah.
But right now, your own children are killing each other.
But she failed them. She was so focused on her paranoia of what would come from outside, she didn't focus on them from the inside. Their relationships with each other, their own personalities, their own needs, individual needs and stuff. She needed them to be a certain way, and she pushed them in that mold without truly caring about what it was doing to them and the jealousy and the fights it was creating between all of them. And so everything she thought she was doing it for them. But now she's got a daughter who's traumatized, who's lost a child. She's got a son who, we don't know if he's going to wake up, but he's in really bad shape. And her relationship with him is destroyed, man. Last time they spoke, she said all those things to him, and now she's no better than he was, right? She kind of is put in his position where the council is completely ignoring her, talking around her like she has no experience. And she knows she has some, because she said to Aegon, if you had questions, if you truly wanted to learn, you would have come to me. She believes she could do this, and she believes she has enough strength and power to rule in Aegon's stead in this time of war, but the council completely disregards her because she's a woman. So, in a way, Aegon, with his own, love of himself, his own understanding of his background and everything, who truly maybe wanted to do this because he was told he could do this, and he was told his father wanted him to do this. He came to the council thinking he could do his job, and he was completely ignored. So she's in his shoes right now.
Ironic, right?
Karma and history repeats itself. And once again, she's stuck with a loved one in bed, and she can't do shit. She must feel so powerless. And the ones that were supposedly supporting her
on her side just turned their back on it. Once they got what they wanted, they just push her aside.
As soon as Larys lost her to Criston Cole, I feel he started to go towards other people to manipulate, because he was getting stuff from her, but it got to a point where it wasn't enough, I guess. And he wants power. He wants a position, right? He was the first to be like, well, we need someone to replace and stuff. Like, he's put who he believes is the best choice, and I get it. But Aemond is a child, right? Maybe he believes he can manipulate him just like he tried to manipulate Aegon, because it worked. But Alicent, I don't think Alicent can bring him anything anymore.
Not anymore.
So as soon as he got what he wanted, he got rid of her and he went to other people. And Criston, last episode, he wanted this. He and Aemond planned this, and they wanted a war with dragons. They wanted dragon fights. When he got to see what a true dragon fight was, he was scared. I believe he saw the calamity that it was, what everyone warned him about, and he was like, fuck, I made a mistake. But unfortunately, he started something, and I think he believes that he has no control over this anymore, so it's not his place to decide. And he did say, I'm saving you from this. Maybe it's his own way, because he's the type to be like, I'm taking you away from this because I know if I can control this, you can control this.
You're a poor, weak woman. You won't be able to survive this.
Kind of like how he was saying, like, we slept together, me and Rhaenyra, so now I must marry you because my pride and stuff. But of course you must feel the same, right? No, he's putting words in other people's mouths. He's projecting himself on them.
But it's the fact that once again he does not acknowledge his mistakes in the fact that he did an error.
And he never said, if he had said that Aemond was responsible, that would just throw everything around. And he didn't say the truth about what happened, because I think he feels responsible, rightfully so, and he's afraid to admit it, because admitting it means that you're not as
if if Aemond could just burn his brother almost to death, what would we do to Cole, right?
There's that, but I think with Cole it comes down to his honor, his mistakes, and just he's really bad at dealing with those. And he thinks he's
bad with dealing is not dealing with it
well,
whatsoever.
that's why I'm saying he's bad at it. But no, I think he thinks that he started something and he can control this. Like, he's a good soldier. He's a knight. He's good at in a fight. But when dragons are involved, he's out of his depth, right? And so depth, French. Anyway, so Aemond is truly the one in charge when it comes to dragon fights. He's a good dragon rider. He's a good fighter. He's a good strategist. So in order to stay close to Aemond's, to be in his favor, and everything, and also to maybe stay away from the weight that comes with being in charge when it comes to dragon fighting, he gave it all to Aemond. He's like, let's put him on the throne because what we just entered is too big for me, too big for Alicent, too big for all of us. But dude, you did this. You started this. You didn't listen to those who had experience. And that's another thing. Discrediting women because they're women, I would be arguing that it's true, especially in those days, men have more experience. But Rhaenyra had a good point when she said, we've been at peace for years.
We've been in an era of peace. What do you know about war?
The biggest difference is that men know how to fight. They've been taught how to fight. So maybe, yes, they have this advantage when it comes to plans and how to move around and stuff on the battlefield and where to place your troops and everything. Like, military knowledge is one thing, but experience is a very big thing too, and they have none of that. Rhaenyra has none of that either, but to completely discredit her because she's a woman is insulting, considering that if they took the time to at least explain stuff to her if she's truly not in the know, or, I don't know, teach her a few things, value her input, not just talk around her and completely put her to the side and be like, no, you can't go out, you can't do shit. Their relationship would be better, and maybe she could come up with stuff. Right now it looks like she just doesn't know what to do. She goes from people to people. No one truly listens to her. They make moves without her knowledge. They go out without telling her. And yes, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's really bad. Like, Daemon fucking left for Harrenhal, and now he's been doing shit on his own without consulting because he thinks he knows best, and he's lost them the Riverlands.
He's raising he was raising men for himself, but also for a benefit. Technically for a benefit.
He claims it's for her side because he has her banner. Red dragon on a black background. It's her banner, and he is her husband. He's saying that once he wins the war, she'll be welcomed by his side. They'll rule together. So technically,
he's king and queen, but king being there.
He's
also.
justifying
Not king
it.
consort.
He keeps justifying it by saying no one will accept her as queen, but you're not helping by doing this. You're basically confirming that if her own husband doesn't want to listen to her, goes off on his own, doesn't answer to her, her letters and stuff, then her council will be saying, like, you can't even control your husband. If Daemon does whatever he wants and you don't have his support, why should we support you? They keep looking down at her because she can back down her own claims, and her own allies are turning their backs on her, so she has no strength. And that puts her in a bad light. That puts her in a bad light with the council. And he claims to be doing this for them. But truly, he's trying to satisfy his need for recognition. So he's doing things the way he believes he should do them. He's not telling shit to her because he needs to do this on his own in order to prove something to himself and others. And unfortunately, he's doing that with her banner. So when he messes up,
it's on her name.
It's in her name. And her name is being tarnished because of this. He's dealing with some shit, but he's causing more harm. I don't know if you'll realize eventually, but this was a really, really bad episode for him. Starting with the hallucination with his mom.
What do you think it means?
To me, I feel like it's the one person he never got to know that represents so much. She's his mother, right?
Yeah.
He never knew her. He saw this woman. Him having sex with her, I think, was a weird representation of his love for her. But since he didn't know it was his mother, that's how he expressed it, I would say. But he basically kind of like, Aemond has issues with his mom too, and he makes up for it by going to a whorehouse and sleeping with the mother figure, right? So I think it's very similar. He's so like Aemond and Daemon and Aemond are similar.
I mean, there was blood, right, in his hallucinations. Like, did he cause her death, or did he took her innocence in a way?
No. I think he might have caused her death. Maybe she died giving birth to him. But in any case, he never got to know her. So maybe the blood is representing the fact that she died when he was a baby, and indirectly it was because of childbirth. I don't know. You'll have to explain that to us because it might be in the books. But in any case, I think it was a weird show of motherly love. Like, he needed someone that loved him unconditionally, that didn't judge him. And it's, when he looks at
Someone
Rhaenyra,
who loved him and said that you are enough, that you're worth it, that you're worth something.
Yeah, but you can't imagine someone like Rhaenyra, his wife, telling him that, because all he has from her, all he gets from her is judgment and, critiques and stuff. Like, she's saying, oh, it's guilt. When he looks at Rhaenyra, it's guilt. He sees her as a young child, but all he has now is the woman he doesn't understand, the woman he has no connection with because they haven't seen each other in so long, and now all their decisions go against one another. They don't support one another, they don't respect one another. Like, it's just a very complicated relationship. So he gets no love, no support, no recognition from Rhaenyra. So I think that's why he got this vision from his mom, a loving figure, unconditional love, support, care. And from her, since he never met her, he doesn't know what she would have thought. He doesn't know what her opinion about this would be. So I think it's easy.
Just someone who would have been proud of him.
Like, the only person, it's kind of like saying the only person who would say you're the better choice is someone who's never seen you, never met you.
Oh.
Well, but then again, you say, but when we turn around, what does he do?
Something like this, yeah.
People curse his name. They say he's someone who ordered the death of a child, and he's trying to say it wasn't me and stuff. He keeps trying to justify stuff, but he was responsible for what happened to Aegon's kid. He might not have said the exact words, but he still sent those men in, and he said a son for a son.
Yeah.
So he's responsible in a way.
Behind it, yeah.
And then what happened with the Bracken and the Blackwoods and stuff, like, he wasn't there. He wasn't the one that did it, and he didn't say the words just like a son for a son, but he heavily implied what he wanted.
That do stuff that the crown should not be associated with.
Yes, and he basically said he didn't truly care about why these people were following him. All he wanted was their support, even if he had to force them to give him his support. And he didn't take time to truly understand the feud between the two houses. He used their hatred to force one side to do this to the other. Like, he manipulated them both. And then what happened? He gave too much power to one side, and he allowed the situation. He didn't order them to do what they did after, stealing and destroying and killing and all of that. Like, everything they did after, that's on them, but he allowed the situation to happen. They did this in his name, and kind of like him with Rhaenyra, they were carrying his banner. They did this in his name. He allowed this to happen. So now you deal with the consequences. You've lost the Riverlands. They said they were not going to follow a tyrant, meaning Daemon. But still, he represents Rhaenyra. As far as they know, he represents Rhaenyra. So that means...
So, as far as I know, he's acting under the queen's order, basically.
Yeah. That brings me to Jace. Honestly, I'm really proud of him. He got his mom the North.
Got them to bend the knee. I'm so proud of him. He's
Yeah.
started so young.
As at his young age, considering what everyone else has been trying to do, he got his mom the Vale, he got his mom the North, and now he's got his mom the twins.
Nice.
That's really good. I was a bit afraid because he went out there without without anyone knowing, without talking about his plan, and that means when he got there, even though he was speaking the queen's name and the queen's words, the queen wasn't aware, and the queen ended up talked to him about what she was willing to give. It's been done before in Game of Thrones when Robb was dealing with the twins. It's his mom who went to talk to Lord Frey, and she's the one that offered terms. And when she came back, she said, "This is what he wants. This is what has been offered." But she also said, "Do you accept?" Right? At the end of the day, if he didn't want to say yes, he could have said no. But Rhaenyra, in this case, she didn't know. She wasn't aware of what was being offered and stuff. And to be fair, she could still say no, but it felt like Jace was literally offering stuff without knowing if it was his to offer. And considering Daemon was on his way to getting an army and he was claiming Harrenhal, he could have had plans which would have turned out to be really bad for Rhaenyra. So always be careful when you do stuff like that, Jace. Like, when you speak the queen's name and the queen's words, you need to at least let the queen know.
I have a plan to start with and go with it afterwards.
But I also understand that what he did was really great for the war effort, considering everything else. And I also understand that, just like Alicent and Rhaenyra, he felt powerless, like they were not allowing him to go out and do his job.
And I mean, you're supposed to be the succession. This is your kingdom, this is your people, and you're not allowed to do shit because if something happened to you.
Well, I think they would have
understand
sent him.
that if something happens to you is important, but you have a dragon, you can do something. So being told
like
to
Rhaenys,
not do anything because of it.
Rhaenys had a dragon too, and she died.
Yeah.
The thing is, Rhaenyra just lost a son. I understand why she's not eager to send another son into battle to die, right? Even though she has other heirs.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. But just like everyone else, like they all want to do something. And unfortunately, I truly believe that you cannot ask people to fight for you if you're not willing to go and fight for them. They are willing. They are willing. But Rhaenyra, being a woman, they don't want her to go and fight. They're saying, you're our hope, you're our reason for fighting. And I get it. But if she was a man, she'd be expected to go and fight.
I mean, Aegon was a man, and people say, "Oh, stay inside, stay inside."
Do you think Aemond is going to be told to stay and fight?
Nope.
To stay inside, sorry.
No, because he's known for being a warrior.
I think it is... I understand keeping your king or your queen hidden, because if they die, it's considered like the end, right? Like, you don't want to lose them. But when we're talking dragons... when we're talking dragons, it's something else. I know the other side has Vhagar and Aemond, and that's a big thing.
I mean, do you expect people to stop Aemond from going with Vhagar?
But that's the thing. Aemond will do it. And I respect a king or a queen who wishes to go and fight, as long as it's in the plans. The problem with Aegon was that he has no experience, he had a smaller dragon, and considering the opposition, they were afraid that he wasn't going to be...
He didn't have a smaller dragon. Sunfire wasn't small.
Meleys was bigger, I think.
Yeah, but Sunfire...
But he said his was quicker. When they said they have dragons too... no, he said mine are bigger.
Syrax is quicker than Vhagar. Just like Meleys.
I'm
but
just
Sunfire is probably just as big as Syrax, maybe.
I'm mixing the two sides a little bit. But still, you don't want to send your queen or king to fight. I get it. You want to keep them protected. But as queen or king, you're sending people to fight in your name, and you're not there to fight too. The people are dying for you, and you're not there to do it too. Like, I get the frustration, and I personally really respect a king or queen that's like, I'm no better than those that follow me. Like, I'd rather lead my men and stuff. So I like that. But it's a very complicated situation. So there's no winner or loser. Like, Rhaenyra staying behind is a good thing. Rhaenyra going is a good thing. Like, Aegon going was a bad thing in this case. But again, in the books, apparently, he was supposed to be there with Aemond.
Yeah.
It was a part of the plan.
I love that Rhaenyra took a book with history with Visenya, the first rider of Vhagar, I think it was. Was it Vhagar or Dragon? And the first wielder of Dark Sister, Daemon's sword. I mean, it's not because you're a woman that you cannot be out there and fight and have your own conquest on your name. In your name, right?
You can do some shit, except back in the day, they were the only ones with dragons. That's a big difference. It's easy to fight when you're the only one on a dragon. Now, the big danger is that the other side has dragons too. And someone just got killed. So that's why I can understand the council saying, I'd rather you stay behind, because if they lose her, they do have just Jace, but Jace is young, and the people that fight in Rhaenyra's name, they could be saying like, oh yeah, I support Rhaenyra because Viserys named her his heir, but I don't support Jace because he's a bastard. I still believe he's a bastard. You know, that it's complicated. But Rhaenyra is the true reason why, like, her claim is the reason why people fight. So if we lose her, we lose that.
Yeah.
So it's all very sad. What I don't like is the reason behind why some of these guys seem to want her to stay behind, because they truly don't value her as a woman. They don't value her input. They don't value what she can, you know, give them or add to the war.
What she can bring.
Even though she knows more about dragons than they do. She's a dragon rider, they're not. And their experience when it comes to war is completely different. No, sorry, it's completely the same. They have no experience.
Technically the same, yeah.
Yes. And everything else, like, she can learn in books and stuff. The rest, you'll unfortunately have to learn on the spot. It's experience, you gain it by going outside and fighting. They know how to fight more than her, so they can you know, give her advice, but this is basically where it stops.
All right.
We'll get to see, but right now, like, both sides don't listen to each other. They need strength desperately.
Do you think that the people in King's Landing might revolt against the Green?
They're already rebelling. They're already rebelling in a way. They're, you know, screaming that they're not given their fair share, they're not given meat. If the doors have to be closed to stop them from leaving, it's already bad. So we'll see how Aemond deals with that. In any case, this is going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching it with us. If you want to see the next episode, well, right away, I'm hoping it will be on Patreon first, but like I said, I'm not going to wait a week to release the other one. I'll try to release them one after the other, so it'll be there really soon, but the full-length reaction to this episode will be on Patreon, so you can check that out. The link will be in the description below.
Alright guys, see you soon.
Bye.